Good afternoon. In the last class, we discussed the index properties, index properties, and particularly in the previous class, we discussed the last index property, consistency limits, various consistency limits, consistency indices, and how to determine consistency limits, namely liquid limit, plastic limit, and shrinkage limit. Then lastly, it is the activity of clay. Now, let us take another bit in the same module. It is field identification of soils. Civil engineering and civil engineers are predominantly involved in field activities. Before taking up any construction activity, we need to decide the plan. For that, surveying is required. Then after preparing plan, in order to have the foundation for various structures, first we have to visit to the site. There we have to take the soil sample, then soil investigations to be carried out both at the field as well as laboratory. Based on the results of soil investigation, we can arrive at the shape bearing capacity. Again, this shape bearing capacity enables us to decide the extent of foundation, size of the footing, or it may be a shallow footing or shallow foundation or deep foundation. In most of the cases, when we visit to the field, there we need to identify the type of soil, whether the soil is a fine grained soil or a coarse grained soil. Based on the type of soil, we decide the next course of action. As we already aware about the coarse grained soils are generally they are good soil. They require they don't require much investigation. But to know their the properties, it requires investigation. On the other hand, fine grained soils are not good soil, and they require more attention. Means we have to analyze the fine grained soil to a maximum extent, and based on that maximum extent analysis, we decide the course of action. When civil engineer visit the site, he should able to identify the soil based on observation or based on some simple field test, so that we can take the next course of action. The most commonly used terms in civil engineering to describe soils are gravels, sand, silt, and clay. Gravel and sand are called as coarse grained soils. Then silt and clays are called as fine grained soils. Gravels, again based on particle size, already in the beginning we have grouped the soil. Particle size greater than 75 micron are called as coarse grained soils, and particle size smaller than 75 micron are called as fine grained soils. These coarse grained soils are bulky in size, and mostly they are made up of the minerals of the irregular shape and different shapes. Because of their bulk in size, one can easily decide, we can observe, we can say that it is whether it may be a gravel or it may be a sand. So, identification of coarse grained soils can be carried out just by mere observation in the field. As in the field we don't have any, usually we don't have any equipments in the field, or we don't carry, at the emergency circumstances we don't carry even instruments. Under such circumstances we need to identify. So, just by mere observation we can say that it is a soil, is a gravel or sand based on the size. Fine grained soils on the other hand are microscopic in size. Here physical properties other than the particle size is required to identify the fine grained soil. Fine grained soils are again silt, soil may be a silt or clay. It is very much essential to decide the available soil is silty soil or a clay soil. So, in the order we go, we are giving the grade for the soils. Gravel, generally well graded gravel is a very good soil. Again well graded sands are very good soil. Then silt is good soil. Then clay is not good soil, like that. In the order we give the grade. It is not good soil or sometimes not good soil. So, whenever we come across not good soil, we give more importance for their analysis. Based on the percentage of their presence in the soil, we can take action. So, here because of their microscopic in size, in addition to particle size, some of the physical properties are helpful in identifying the fine grained soil. Field identification of soils are nothing but, or it is applicable to fine grained soils, because coarse grained soils can be easily identified by observation. The most commonly using field identification test to identify the soil as a silt or clay, or to identify the soil as to identify the fine grained soils. Field identification of fine grained soils. The most commonly adopting field identification tests are: number 1, dry strength test; number 2, shaking test; rolling test; and number 4, dispersion test. All these tests are simple tests. Here onwards, whenever you visit a construction site of, or your say suppose if in your house they are taking up the new construction activity, or your neighbor they wanted to take construction activity at a site, there with all dignity you can go and take the soil and perform these tests, so that you can in the field itself, on the site, you can convey the message that it is the good soil or not good soil. If you feel that it is the soil's particles are bulky in size, you can say comfortably it's a good soil. If the particles cannot be easily identified based on mere observation, you can say it is not good soil. It requires some more clarification, something like that. Then you perform this test quickly in the field and say that again if silty soil is silty soil, it is somewhat good soil. Again it soil is clay soil, it is not good soil. That we can also give the suggestions how to make this not good soil to a good soil, or somewhat good soil to a good soil or very good soil, like that. Dry strength test is the test we can perform this in the field. Dry strength test gives the idea about the soil type. Strength of the soil under a dry condition is the indication of the cohesion of the soil. Cohesion means it is a sticking property of the soil. If soil is a cohesive soil, particles will stick with each other and exhibit more strength under dry condition. Of course, when water comes in contact with it becomes soft. So performance of this test is very simple. Wherever we are in the field, there take a dry soil pat. Soil pat means a small clod, we can say it is small this size. Try to break that soil clod, soil piece between fingers. If soil is a clay soil, the clod can be break with greater effort, forcibly to crush if the soil is clay. Suppose if the soil is silty soil, it will readily crush with a simple effort or simple effort. So for clay it requires great effort, and for a silt it requires a smaller effort. We can crush that soil clod. Clod is nothing but a small soil ball of irregular shape, any dry soil. So this simple test can be conducted easily without any much difficulties. Next, second field test is a shaking test. Again it is a simple fancy test. Here a part of soil mixed with water to a finer consistency or a soft consistency is placed on the palm. A small part of soil mixed with water to a soft consistency is placed on the palm, and the soil is to be spread evenly all along the palm, all across the palm, including sometimes it is the fingers and all. Then this soil pad placed on the palm to be shaken by tapping the palm from the bottom like this repeatedly for a duration of say 1 minute or 2 minutes like this. If the soil is a silty soil, because of this shaking of the soil pad due to this patting, water will come up to the surface of the soil pad, giving a shining appearance. Suppose if you squeeze the soil pad like this, when we squeeze the soil pad, automatically that plane surface become broken and you can see the cracks. We can see the crack on the surface, and when it is squeezed, water will go back, leaving dull appearance. That is the indication of silt. Suppose if the soil is a clay soil, so this appearance will not take place, means when we tap for the shaking, water will not rise quickly to the surface, and even if you squeeze the soil pad, the water will not go back easily, because in clay void spaces are less, and to raise water in the clay to the surface, it requires more time than the silting. In silt, water will rise quickly with a simple tapping, and if it is squeezed, it will go back easily, whereas in case of clay we cannot observe this shining appearance or the dull appearance. So, this test can also be performed very quickly and easily. The third test is the rolling test. Rolling test is almost same as the plastic limit which we discussed in the last class. Take a small portion of the soil and add sufficient amount of water, try to make a ball. If you can able to make the ball, so that you can say that it is a somewhat a soil, a fine grained soil. If you cannot able to make the ball, we can comfortably say it is a coarse grained soil. Coarse grained soils are good soil. Okay, if you can able to make the ball, again take fraction of the soil from that ball. Try to make a thread. Try to make thread between palm and fingers like this. If you can able to make a thread up to 3 mm diameter, even smaller than 3 mm diameter, that indicates the soil is clay. If we cannot able to make a thread of diameter 3 mm, then soil is a silty soil. So, clay can be rolled even a diameter of smaller than 3 mm, silt cannot be rolled. So, likewise we can differentiate between silt and clay. Then the last field test is dispersion test. Again, this is also a simple test. Take water in the jar or in a bucket. Drop the soil to be tested, or the soil to be tested means it is to know what type of soil is there in the soil. What type of means whether it is a coarse grained soil or a fine grained soil. If it is a fine grained soil, what is there? Whether soil is predominantly silty soil or clay soil. So, take a glass jar or a bucket, drop soil in that water. If soil is a coarse grained soil, means the gravel and coarse sand will settle immediately. Gravel and coarse sand settle immediately after placing in the bucket or the jar. Next, fine sand will settle in 1 to 2 minutes. Again, fine silt will settle in about 1 hour, whereas clay will settle in more than 1 hour, and some of the particles, finer clay particles, will be under suspension in water for several hours. If soil readily settles, that indicates gravel and sand, that particularly gravel and coarse sand. The finer sand will settles within 1 or 2 minutes. Fine silt will settle it in about 1 hour. If still after 1 hour, if the soil is still in suspension, we can observe by their color. That indicates again that predominance. Predominance means quantity of soil. If majority of the soil is in suspension, even after 1 hour, that indicates it's a predominantly clay soil. Like this, we can identify fine-grained soils. So, this is the field identification of soil. Next, let us consider another bit of this first module. Indian standard soil classification system means it is can also be denoted as ISSCS, Indian Standard Soil Classification System. For all application purpose, soils are generally classified. The objective of soil classification is to group the type of soil separately in a soil mass generally based on their predominance. We can use the entire soil for a particular work, or based on the requirements we can use a particular group of that fraction of the group for usage purposes. This can also be used as we already discussed in sieve analysis for designing the drainage filter media. Again, this classification again is an index for all the engineering properties of soil. Classification also helps us in deciding the stabilization type of stabilization to be selected for a particular soil in the field. Earlier we used to classify soil based on unified soil classification system, textural classification system, particle size classification system, and this Indian Standard Soil Classification System. But now here for this 18 scheme onwards, you are learning only this Indian Standard Soil Classification System. Of course, this Indian Standard Soil Classification System includes almost all the previous subtitles which we used to discuss in other classification system. The range of particle sizes encountered in soils are very large, that we already seen. The range of particle sizes encountered in soil are very large because we have discussed already that soil is derived from the rocks. Disintegration of rocks leads to the formation of soil. We call the soil, even that size is about 300 millimeter or 200 millimeter. Also we call the soil as a soil if the small. So particles are there from boulder over 200 millimeter size to clay particles smaller than 0.002 millimeter. Clay particles are there even smaller than 0.001 millimeter. Generally, these particles smaller than 0.001 millimeter are in a colloidal stage always. Means if it is put in water, it is in suspension for several hours, and dealing with this particles smaller than 0.001 millimeters, it is very difficult. It means it requires more attention. The range of particle size using to group the soil particles or it is classification based on particle size. Or grain size. Under this particles are grouped into three categories: very coarse particles, coarse particles, or the fine soils. Under very coarse size, there are two ranges. One is the boulders, cobbles, and another one is boulder. First is boulder size and cobble size. Boulder size and cobble size. Here the boulders soil are said to be boulder if the size of the particles are greater than particle size greater than 300 millimeter. It is said to be boulder if the particle size ranges between 80 millimeter to 300 millimeter. So this case soils are called as very coarse size soil. Next size is a coarse size. Coarse size soils again can be called as coarse gravel and fine gravel. If particle sizes ranges between 20 millimeter to 80 millimeter, then it is called as a coarse gravel. If particle size ranges between 4.75 millimeter to 20 millimeter, it is called as fine gravel. Again, this coarse size can also be grouped as sand. It is coarse sand, medium sand, and fine sand. Or else we can here we can say it is this is sand. Here it is we can designate it as coarse, medium, and fine. So the size corresponding to coarse, medium, and fine are, here the coarse sand ranges between 2 millimeter to 4.75, and medium sand represents 0.4 to 5 millimeter to 2 millimeter, and fine sand ranges between 0.075 millimeter to 0.4 to 5 millimeter. Below that, one more size is there, it is the fine size. Here the fine size particles are grouped into silt and clay. The range of particle in case of silt is it ranges between 0.002 millimeter to 0.075 millimeter, whereas for clay it is smaller than 0.002 millimeter. Here again it can be represented in the form of gravel here. Here we can put it as coarse and fine. Coarse gravel, fine gravel, coarse sand, medium sand, and fine sand. So this gravel can be symbolized by M, and sand is symbolized by S. Silt is symbolized by M, and clay is symbolized by C. Based on particle size, as per IS Indian Standard Soil Classification System, we can group the soil using the particle sizes like this. Next, as we know that soils are broadly classified into three categories. They are coarse grained soil, number 2 fine grained soil, and number 3 other organic soils, organic and miscellaneous. soil materials. Let us consider coarse grained soil. As per this system, Indian soil standard soil classification system, here in coarse grained soil, if more than 50% of the particles by weight of the soil material is larger than or has larger than 0.075 millimeter sieve size or particle size. More than 50% of soil material by weight has particle size greater than 0.075 millimeter. They are called as coarse grained soil. Coarse grained soils can further be classified into gravel and sand. Gravel is designated as G and sand is designated as S. Again, if more than 50% of this coarse grained soil more than 50% in this coarse grained soil is greater than 4.75 millimeter IS sieve. If more than 50% of this coarse fraction is greater than 4.75 millimeter IS sieve, then the soil is said to be gravelly soil. On the other hand, if more than 50% of this coarse grained soil in this coarse grained soil is less than is smaller than 4.75 millimeter IS sieve, it is called as sand. In a soil, if soil possesses more than 50% particle size greater than 75 micron, it is called as coarse grained soil. Again, in that coarse grained soil, if more than 50% of soil particles by weight is greater than 4.75 millimeter IS sieve, it is called as gravel. If more than 50% of this again coarse grained soil is smaller than 4.75 millimeter IS sieve, it is called as sand. Gravels are designated as G and sands are designated as S. So likewise, we can further classify fine grained and coarse grained soil. We will see this fine grained soil classification in the next class.